Throughout the Cobb County School District, Ed-SPLOST dollars show just how much a penny can do. Since 1998, when the first Education SPLOST was passed, the district has built 28 new schools and more than 2,700 new classrooms. Education SPLOST V, since January of 2014, has provided more than $96.8 million in curriculum, instruction, and technology initiatives, including computers, interactive classroom devices, and software enhancements needed for a world-class school district. $50.2 million in safety and support improvements, everything from surveillance cameras in buildings and buses to traffic flow and security fencing. $133 million in new and replacement schools, 2 elementary schools, Mountain View Elementary and Brumby Elementary, East Cobb Middle, and 2 high schools, Walton and Osborne, as well as additions, modifications, and infrastructure and individual school needs for facility upkeep. All thanks to the penny sales tax, or Ed-SPLOST IV, voters approved in 2013. The Special Purpose Local Option Sales Tax for Schools, or Ed-SPLOST, is a 1% sales tax used for the school system to pay for long-term capital needs like new buildings, modernizations, renovations, and technology. New schools and classroom additions are needed to accommodate Cobb's growing population and the new technologies needed to graduate students into an increasingly competitive world. Ed-SPLOST cannot be used to cover operating expenses. The district's operating budget is funded through property taxes paid by Cobb property owners and is not sufficient to pay for capital improvements, building renovations, and repairs. Before Ed-SPLOST was available, such large capital needs were paid for using bonds. Those bonds were a debt Cobb property owners had to repay with substantial interest. The last school bond in 1995 cost Cobb taxpayers an extra $92 million in interest. Ed-SPLOST, however, is pay-as-you-go with no interest cost, and the money comes from anyone who makes a purchase in Cobb County, whether living in Cobb or just passing through.
Ed-SPLOST V is a significant benefit as it allows our school district to provide safe, high-quality schools for our students without creating a tax burden for Cobb County property owners. The Cobb County School District has no long-term debt, making it one of the most cost-effective public school districts in the country. We want to thank all Cobb County voters for making that possible as you have passed each Education SPLOST. Ed-SPLOST V will allow our district to fund needs for safety and security, capital improvements, and technology. I believe it is the obligation of this Cobb County School District to inform you, the taxpayer, of the status of the Education SPLOST program so that you will be an informed voter in the upcoming referendum on March 21st, 2017.
During the process of creating the SPLOST notebook, every principal at every school in the district was contacted about their individual school needs. They offered their top priorities and needs in their schools. Each of those needs was evaluated to determine which ones would be appropriate to fund in Ed-SPLOST V. Ed-SPLOST planners spent a year conducting research to determine what projects to include in Ed-SPLOST V. Beginning with a classroom utilization study, planners assessed the district's needs by working with every division in the district and communicating with every school to find out their local requests and needs. To assure the integrity of the expenditures under SPLOST, the school board formed the Facilities and Technology Review Committee, a panel of respected local citizens to provide public oversight of SPLOST-funded projects.
I can't sit here and say that I don't owe a debt of gratitude to Cobb County because this is where my chance started.
Nicole Kelly went to Mabry Middle, Lassiter High, then on to Yale University, and eventually Georgetown Law School.
The reality is that the preparation was there. I was able to take AP classes, I was able to follow up interests. Having a wide-ranging application and petition to get in was not hard because I got those opportunities there. I think it's important that we as community members take advantage of every opportunity to support our local schools that we can. It was just delightful to really see people who were facilitators of your dreams.
Ed-SPLOST was created with all the district's stakeholders in mind. Regardless of whether students live in the north, south, east, or west, gifted or challenged, the true focus is on all of them, the students. In this way, Ed-SPLOST serves the district's slogan well: one team, one goal, student success. Funding such important specialized academic programs as college and career, STEM and STEAM, magnet, special needs, and blended learning, making academic success possible for all students throughout Cobb. The Ed-SPLOST proposed expenditures would include 59% for new and replacement facilities, including classroom additions and modifications, as well as infrastructure and individual school needs. Another 22% would fund academics and technology, and 19% is slated for improvements in safety, security, and support.
Mountain View for elementary school, it was called J.J. Daniel at the time, named after Judge J.J. Daniel. It's called Daniel Middle School now. And Sprayberry High School. Which
businessman and active community volunteer Frank Wigington.
My wife and I love Cobb County, and we love the Cobb County schools. Our children are both educated in Cobb County school system, and we love it. They received a great education. I do know from being in business all of my life, I've never worked for anyone else. I've been in business all my life. I understand home values. If you let your home sit and do nothing to it for 3 years, you can tell it. If you let it sit for 10 years and do nothing, you can tell it. If you keep it fresh and keep it nice and keep it looking like someone else would want it at some point in time, you won't have any trouble marketing it. Our schools, and I think, need the same thing. If our local schools look great and are great, selfishly, your home values are going to stay, and they're going to increase.
Significant population growth continues across Cobb, especially in the southern parts of the county. Educational SPLOST V calls for replacement facilities for East Valley, Harmony Leland, and King Springs elementary schools, plus a new Smyrna area middle school. Enhancing and expanding existing school buildings rather than total replacement can help accommodate the growing number of students. Ed-SPLOST V adds to existing facilities, approximately 137 classrooms, 26 at middle schools, 111 at high schools. Plans also include constructing major additions, modifications, and renovations at Campbell, Hillgrove, Lassiter, North Cobb, Osborne, Pebblebrook, South Cobb, Sprayberry, Walton, and Wheeler high schools, plus Dickerson, Dodgen, and Lovingood middle schools. Additional upgrades to existing facilities throughout the county include auditoriums, gymnasiums, and the replacement of the turf athletic fields at all high schools. Turf fields have kept maintenance costs down and reduced water consumption during times of drought. Although they look good, the fields are approaching the end of their life cycle. Infrastructure and individual school needs include capital items deemed essential to maintaining the facilities. These are such large ticket items as roofs, HVAC, electrical and plumbing systems, including ADA accessibility and building code compliance. In today's world, safety and security are among our district's most important missions. This proposed area of expenditure would provide needed school access controls, new and replacement surveillance cameras, additional mobile data terminals for the vehicles of the district's public safety officers, rekeying of locks, making classrooms more secure, traffic signage and controls for smoother traffic flow into and out of schools, and major upkeep items needed to keep the district's fleet of support vehicles and buses safe on our roads. In the areas of growth and replacements, funding is provided for furniture and equipment needed to accommodate added capacity at schools and to replace items at existing schools, which have become worn and unusable. Cobb students have excelled academically for many years, in large part due to the teachers and the technological tools they are provided. Cobb's commitment to our students' success is why Ed-SPLOST calls for enhancing networking district-wide, as well as replacing obsolete equipment and maintaining the rest. Our students with disabilities will be equipped with assistive technologies such as braille machines and audiology equipment. Media centers will continue updating to Learning Commons, areas more attuned to the way students learn today. And learning resources, once known as textbooks, now include other content provided by publishers. Over the years, Ed-SPLOST has provided everything from new and replacement facilities, additions and modifications, maintenance and renovation, safety, security and support, and academic and technology needs. To quote a middle school student from a thank you card she wrote to a school district construction manager, "Doing that penny thing is so awesome." For more information on Ed-SPLOST V, visit cobbk12.org/splost.